Shalom. First and foremost, all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai.
Double honors to the apostles. The salutations you brothers going to stand with sincerity, truth, and charity. This is another installment of the Spirits Like the Wind. I believe it's episode 46. You know, and so we're gonna hop right into it. That's what Spirit say, man. In fact, get the songs. But we don't touch this name, you know, we're gonna go through topics more than likely. But hey, motherfuckers, the scope now is because a heathen say the same prophecy that we say, now it's not true. Alright, I guess you never read the Bible, man. Alright, you get the Psalms 64 and 8. Then we get the Genesis about the dream that Pharaoh had of the dearth in the land, the famine in the land.
Even Daniel, the second chapter.
I got it right now. Get that, and I got numbers. I got numbers. Balaam, of course. Classics, man. So this shows that hey, this certain scoffer, a certain guy, you know, doesn't know anything about the scriptures. Get the Psalms.
Psalm 64 and 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away.
There you go, man. So Esau is exposing himself. They got a plan too, man. All right, they man, they got a plan too. But it's the will of the Lord, Proverbs 21. All right, that's just the will of the Lord working on them, man. All right, we can get we got some Genesis. I'll get the numbers first then. All right, this is numbers. Hey, the Lord used the damn donkey to warn the men. So he can do anything. That's bugged out.
He used Pontius Pilate. He used his wife. Right. Talk about Yahweh Shai.
That's right. She said, don't harm this man. I was troubled in my sleep. Sure. All right, this is Numbers 24 and 15. He took up his parable and said, Balaam, the son of Beor, have said, and the man whose eyes are open have said, he had said, which heard the words of the Most High, and the knowledge of the Most High, which saw the vision of the Almighty fall into a trance, having his eyes open. And so the Lord put him in a trance to show him this stuff, man. Now the thing is there was a parable unto him. He didn't understand it. It goes back to Mark the 4th chapter. I just done to a parable, even to 2/3 of Israel, they can't get this thing. It's only made clear to the elect. All right. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Shem. Hey, so if you've got a problem with a heathen getting a vision from the Lord in the form of a parable, all right, going into things, all right, future prophecies, then you don't believe in Yahweh Shai. He's talking about Yahweh Shai right here. All right? You don't believe nothing about it, man. And Edom shall be a possession. Hey, so Esau Edom is going to slavery, man. That's right. And even this heathen gave his prophecy. So the hell of it. He even said the same thing we said. All right? They're not going to the word and breaking it down all the way like we are, making things plain upon the tables.
A lot of the movies, the directors, when they make the movies, hey, that's the Lord showing them the visions of the end and the atrocity that's going to happen. And that's what they do. They turn it and make it into a movie. The same movie, I bet these same niggers talking shit enjoy. You know?
Hey, real quick, it's Genesis. It's Acts 17. I'm not even going with the numbers. It is Acts 17 and 28. For in him we live and move and have our being, and certain also of their own prophets, own poets, have said we are also his offspring. Like the brother Mathieu mentioned, man, these producers, all right, these writers of movies, these poets, all right, they have a certain inspiration that's given to them from on high, man. Job 32 and 8. So even they had these things, man. They put these things in your films, and your man, you say, oh, it's just a movie, it's just entertainment. No, man, that's still made through the wisdom of the Lord. So it's still got certain prophetic things in it, man. The Lord wisdom doesn't say idle. Just like a motherfucker can pray, all right, can be in the middle of a gunfight and every bullet misses ass. Sweet Jesus didn't save him. The Lord wisdom just doesn't say idle. All right, so a 2/3 can have a dream and it can come to pass. Heathens have dreams that come to pass. They're gonna get some accounts on it. All right.
I had a quick precept to go about it. This Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hands of Yahweh. As the river of water, he turneth it whatsoever he will.
God. So everything's in the hand and power of the Lord, man. He controls all, man. He used the kings just like he used us. Hey, it's an account in the kings when that was the Egyptian king. He told the king of Judah to fall back. I ain't come against you, the Lord. And it says, Yahweh sent me to take down his other nation. How did he know that the Lord wanted him to do that? How did he know that? And when these motherfuckers go to their left-hand side, they witches, they prognosticators, the Lord is still there, man, giving them certain levels of understanding. All right? The Lord controls the left and the right. 1 Kings 22nd chapter, man. It's not a hard thing to fucking get. This is not. It's Numbers 24 and verse 19. Out of Jacob shall come he that shall have dominion and shall destroy him that remaineth of the city. All right, so he's going to have a shay right here. A fucking heathen. He said he won't even behold him, man. He said he's going to see him, but not. He's not even going to be attached. He still had the vision about it. He still received the prophecy about it. And understand a certain level of understanding. Okay? Now I believe that. I mean, he will go to some more.
I got that. All right. This is Genesis 20. This is Genesis 20 and verse 3. And Yahweh came to Abimelech in a dream by night, and said to him, Behold, thou art but a dead man, for the woman which thou hast taken, for she is a man's wife.
Kai, this is a good one too. Hey, the Lord came to Abimelech in the form of a dream at night. Did you grab that Job? I think it's Job
33.
Kai, go ahead.
This is Job 33 and 14. It says, And Yahweh speaketh once, yet twice, yet man perceiveth not, in a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falleth upon men, and slumberings upon the bed. Then he openeth the ears of men, and sealeth their instruction.
There you go, sealeth their instruction, man. Just as the Lord gave that vision to King Nebuchadnezzar, all right, and then he brought it to pass. Just as right here, the Lord visited Abimelech and told him that you're going off. This is another man's woman. All right, the Lord wasn't gonna sit by idle on nobody, man. We just got the blessing to have the full understanding. That's been the Israelites and the prophets of Israel. We get to be the oracles, man. But the heathens get plagued, they get shown certain things just as we do, man.
I got that one you quoted. This is 2 Kings 23 and 29. In his days, Pharaoh Necho, king of Egypt, went up against the king of Assyria to the river Euphrates, and King Josiah went against him. And he slew him at Megiddo when he had seen him. In the account where he basically explained that this is Kings, but the same account in 2 Chronicles, the 35th chapter, and the 20th verse. But basically he had told him, that, hey, look, I'm gonna get it real quick.
Yeah, he said, what have I to do with you, King of Judah?
Why you grabbing that? I'll bring this out real quick.
This is Proverbs 20 and 24. Man's goings are of Yahweh. How can a man then understand his own way? Man, because everything, like they said, man, everything is orchestrated under Yahweh, man. So for you to think, man, that the Lord don't control this, you was a madman, because this is all orchestrated under the Lord, man. And hopefully, man, we are the elect, and because he set us up, man. The Lord chose us to do this work, man. So for you people to come against us, man, and you ain't coming against us, you coming against the Heavenly Father.
That's right. That's a weak ass thought. There's time we finna hit tons of precepts for the Lord dealt and show heed to certain things. Like even to the point where the Lord gave the Egyptians power enough to make certain miracles happen, man. All right, he threw his staff down and turned into a snake just like Moses did. All right, that's all power and wisdom that's given from the Lord, man, to control the left hand and right. You know?
Yeah, Con. This Second Chronicles is basically the explanation of the account. This is Second Chronicles 35 and verse 20. It said, after all this, when Josiah had prepared the temple, Necho, king of Egypt, came up to fight against Carchemish by Euphrates, and Josiah went out against him. But he sent ambassadors to him, saying, what have I to do with thee, thou king of Judah? I come not against thee this day, but against the house wherewith I have war. For Yahweh commanded me to make haste.
God, and so and this says Yahweh, man, that Lord is all kept right there. So he understood that the Lord, the God, Yahweh,
It said God, G-O-D.
all caps.
Yeah.
God. So Yahweh was there. He understood this. The creator of all things sent him to do this. He said to make haste. How did he get known this, man? How did he get told to do this? All right.
God. It said, forbear thee from meddling with Yahweh. Who is
He's telling this to an Israelite. This heathen is telling an Israelite, fall back. The Lord is telling me to do this.
And it said, and he made a good point. He said, and let's go out to you scoffers, man. He said, who is with me that he destroyed thee not, man? Hey, he said, God, who is with me, man, that he destroyed thee not, man. So the Most High won't destroy you. Don't try to stop his plan, man. Nevertheless, Josiah would not turn his face from him, but disguised himself that he might fight with him, and hearken not to the words of Necho from the mouth of God. All right. And came to fight in the valley of Megiddo. And after that, he got shot by the archers and wounded. He died. Exactly. You know, the prophet Jeremiah lamented for him.
Hey, showing that he, the Lord did send him. It came to pass. All right. That's simple, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the point. You know, it's just you know, the Lord. Hey, I'm gonna just read it over real quick. This is Genesis 20 and 3. But Yahweh came to Abimelech in a dream by night, and said unto him, behold, thou art a dead man, for the woman which thou hast was taken, for she is a man's wife. Hey, and when you go into the real quick for another point, when you go into the history of that, and when you go into the kings, because I did it myself, it was an ancient tradition. When you go into Abimelech and those men of the age, even though like he was a Hamite, but still, one of their tradition was to collect as many women as they can in their rulership, and that's why he wanted Abraham's wife. For all you niggas out there scoffing polygamy, that was just open in the ancient world like that, man. Read a Bible dictionary, nigga.
This is Genesis 41. I'm going to start at the top. It says, and it came to pass at the end of 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and behold, he stood by the river. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 well-favored kine and fat flesh, and they fed in the meadows. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill-favored and lean flesh, and stood by the other kine upon the brink of the river. And the ill-favored and lean flesh kine did eat up the 7 well-favored and fat kine. So Pharaoh awoke, and he slept and dreamed the second time, and behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stump.
So the Lord came to him twice, giving him visions of prophecy.
It says, and behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good. And behold, 7 thin ears, and blasted with the east wind, sprang up after them. And the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank and full ears, and Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt, and all the wise men thereof. And Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that could interpret them unto Pharaoh. It says, then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day, his servants, and put me inward in the captain of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. And we dreamed a dream, and one night, I and he, we dreamed each man according to the interpretation of his dream. And these two guys, you know what I'm saying? Even the chief baker and his head servant, you know?
Right. They received visions from the Lord too, man.
Mm-hmm. It says, verse 12, and there was there with us a young man, an Hebrew, servant to the captain of the guard, and we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams. To each man according to his dream he did interpret. And it came to pass as he interpreted to us, so it was. Me he restored unto my office, and him he hanged. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeons. And he shaved himself and changed his raiment and came in unto Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. And I have heard say of thee that thou canst understand a dream and to interpret it. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, it is not in me. The Most High shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, in my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of the river, and behold, there came up out of the river 7 kine, fat fleshed and well favored, and they fed in the meadow. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them, poor and very ill favored, and lean fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt for badness. And the lean and the ill favored kine did eat up the first 7 fat kine. And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill favored as at the beginning. So I awoke. And I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good. And behold, 7 ears withered, thin, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. And the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none that could declare it to me. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, the dream of Pharaoh is one. The Most High has showed Pharaoh what he is about to do.
That prophecy, man.
That's right.
All right.
It says the 7 good kine are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dream is one. And the 7 thin and ill-favored kine that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What Yahweh is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh.
Read that last part over.
It says, verse 28. This is Genesis 41, verse 28. This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What Yahweh is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh.
There you go. So what the Lord was about to do, all right, he showed it to Pharaoh. He gave them a prophecy, man. All right.
Yep. This is
Y'all stuff so weak, man. Y'all don't. Do y'all even read the Bible, bro?
They don't even set up for that
At all.
stuff. They just say some shit.
at all.
Playing on the magic is simple, man.
This is Daniel 2. I'm gonna get straight to the point, verse 28. This is Daniel speaking. He says, but there is a God in heaven that revealeth secrets and maketh known to the king Nebuchadnezzar what shall be in the latter days. Read it again. But there is a power in heaven that revealeth secrets and maketh known to the king of Nebuchadnezzar, a heathen, what shall be in the latter days.
Right. He told King Nebuchadnezzar about even up until now, basically, man.
Yeah.
Up until Greece, Rome.
The plague mixed with iron, 10 toes.
Exactly.
That's the day, man.
That's right. Even Balaam, he prophesied about today.
Yep.
If I kept reading, he went down to down, man. Hey, y'all about that? Break down some prophecies, man. What is some prophecies? You spend the whole career scoffing. Break down the rest of the parable of Balaam, man.
It says, thy dream and the visions of thy head upon thy bed are these. And Daniel goes into interpreting his dream.
Right. You got the
The other one. This is Daniel 4. I'm going to start at 4. Nebuchadnezzar was at rest in my house and flourishing in my palace. I saw a dream which made me afraid, and the thoughts upon my bed and the visions of my head troubled me. Therefore made I a decree to bring in all the wise men of Babylon before me, that they might make known unto me the interpretation of the dream. Then came in the magicians, the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers, and I told the dream before them, but they did not make known unto me the interpretation thereof. But at the last, Daniel came in before me, whose name was Belshazzar, according to the name of my power, in whom is the spirit of the holy powers, say God's powers. And before him I told the dream, saying, O Belshazzar, master of the magicians, because I know that the spirit of the holy gods is in thee, and no secret troubleth thee, tell me the visions of my dream that I have seen, and the interpretation thereof. Thus were the visions of my head in my bed. I saw and behold a tree in the midst of the earth, and the height thereof was great. The tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of all the earth. The leaves thereof were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and in it was meat for all. The beasts of the field had shadow under it, and the fowls of heaven dwelt in the boughs thereof, and all flesh was silent. I saw in the visions of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and an holy one came down from heaven. He cried aloud and said thus, hew down the tree, and cut off his branches, shake off his leaves, and scatter his fruit. Let the beasts get away from under it, and the fowls from his branches. Nevertheless, leave the stump of his roots in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass, in the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts in the grass of the earth. Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him. You know, and it goes into the interpretation of it. That's when the Lord turned Nebuchadnezzar into a beast. What was he doing? He was out in the field like an animal, man. He let the hair of his body grew like feathers. You know, his nails grew like talons. He was eating grass like an ox. You know, I'm gonna read that part again. It says, verse 16: Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him, man. So Yahweh Shem Yahushua showed a vision unto Nebuchadnezzar before he did it unto him, man. You know?
I skip down to the end.
Oh, verse 17. This verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men.
Basically, because I got this First Samuel chapter 16, because basically Saul lost the spirit, man. He put the spirit upon David, man. And, you know, that God he has anointed, man, and he put a bad. I'm about to read it, man. This I'm gonna start at 13. Then Samuel took the this First Samuel 16 and 13. Then Samuel took the horn of oil and anointed him in the midst of his brethren, and the spirit of Yahweh came upon David for the day forward. So Samuel rose up and went to Ramah, but the spirit of Yahweh departed from Saul, and the evil spirit from Yahweh troubled him. Because he took the spirit off Saul and gave it to David. Man, that's how you know the Lord, man. Like he said, he's ruling in the kingdom of man. The Lord controls this, man. Verse 15. And Saul's servant said unto him, Behold, now an evil spirit from the Most High Power troubled you. And the Most High Power put that evil spirit on him, man. That's how you know the Lord, man, control this, man. And man, you can't come against Yahweh Shem Yahushua. This is all orchestrated by him, man. That's right. He gives to whoever he wants.
Hey, even in John 11, that's the wicked high priest, man. He prophesied that Yahweh Shah would come and die. The Lord wanted him to know. He said him being high priest that year, he got that vision. You know? But that's just the Lord wants to do it. Use a donkey to talk to a man. I mean, what don't you get?
Yeah, man, that ain't playing, man.
How are you scoffing now? Now we ain't got the truth. Because the devil, you might say the same thing we say. Hey, look, we didn't get the shepherd of my man.
Right. Well, like the scripture you called out earlier, man, they have to know something. This is Psalms 64 and 8. It says, so they shall make their own tongue themselves, all that seed them shall flee away. So if their own tongue is calling upon themselves, that means some truth is coming out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some truth that they really didn't want to get out because they the devil. They've been lying, you know. It says that matter of fact in Psalms 17 and 13, it says, "Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." And so, what has he been doing? He's been whooping us by physically, mentally, spiritually. You know, he's been whooping us. You know what I'm saying? And using Esau to do it. Part of that is the oppression. Part of that is the lies. All right, to tell a lie, you got to know some truth. You know what I'm saying? So some of these things in the scriptures, they not gonna get the big, you know, deep parable understanding that, you know, is only given into the elect, because, you know, to those without, it is not given. But then some things are gonna be known, and then they're gonna, you know, do those things. They're gonna make those things like the chip. All right, and then some of them gonna know, and then they wasn't included in all the riches of the elite. So here it is, now they telling. You know, here it is. They know some things. They can figure some things out. Say, hey, why is it in Daniel?
I got it right here. All right, that's crazy. I got two for you. Just Ezekiel 28:3. Behold, thou art wiser than Daniel. There is no secret that they can hide from thee. Hey, this Genesis 3, this says no secret can happen, right? This Genesis 3 and through 5. All right. For the Most High doth know that the day you eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Right. So this is the serpent, which the same spirit of Cain, the same spirit of the king of Tyrus, which would be Esau, Edom. All right. Wiser than Daniel. He said they should be as gods, right? Knowing good and evil. But then when you get down to verse, was he wrong? Let's see. Now this is verse 22. And Yahweh power said, behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now let's put forth his hand and take also the tree of life and eat and live forever. Hey, so the serpent did all that lying. You shall not surely die.
Exactly.
But then he told them the truth in that part about the prophecy. That's a prophecy. He said, you should be as gods. Know good and evil. And then the Lord himself said it when you read further down. He said, yeah, they know good and evil, man. Being as a God. So nothing is hidden from them, man. They know these things.
Exactly. Yeah, they know some things. You know what I'm saying? And also, the Lord, hey, he would be allowing that and allowing them to say something for somebody to say, oh man, y'all just got that from them, man. But that ain't the chip, I'm taking it. Destroy. You know what I'm saying? Yep. You know, use that as a stumbling block as well, because you're not gonna get it.
He said it, matter of fact.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
no, I was just about to say, just so you can go ahead and take it because you was just that wicked that you denied a spirit. You know what I'm saying? Just because, oh, okay, so Edomites, they know it too, so it couldn't be.
Fucking idiot. But then they forget how Shai said what? The children of this generation is wiser than the children of light.
Right.
So they know some things, man. The Lord give them certain measurements, man.
Right. And that's how they able to make their tongue fall upon themselves by telling some truths.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Some truths that the elite of Esau don't want to get out there. You know what I'm saying? Or it just don't even know, because some of them, even the elite, they can just get old. See, now and then, just like the brother brought out that proverb, the Lord can do what he want to do and put it in the spirit of whoever to say whatever for the elect's sake, man.
God, y'all got, they say we got some type of Mason doctrine because we teach about the 3 world wars in the end because that dude wrote that book in 1877. But you got to understand, the Lord controls the left-hand side. So when they go praise their demons, it said the Lord set them in slippery places. They think they're doing their own thing to overcome, on point to rule the world. All right, but that's a trick. The Lord got them in a trick bag, man. He told them to go after their witchcraft, to go after their prognosticators, man. All right, so yeah, they wrote a book about it.
We didn't read that book to get it from there. We broke it down through this. It just so happened Esau caused his tongue to fall upon himself.
That's right.
This is Job 31 and 35. Oh, that one will hear me. Behold, my desire is that the Almighty will answer me, and that my adversary have written a book. All right, so the Lord answered us. He gave us this word. And then our actual adversary, the enemy, he also wrote his own books exposing himself, going into certain prophecies, going into his plan and the 3 wars. All right, but that's all the will of the Lord. Proverbs 21 and 1.
Right.
Bible track, one of y'all, United, that's about 1 Kings 22.
Right there.
Oh, shit.
Hey, the Lord had that. They wrote all these books, man. They wrote Pale White Horse. They
Right.
wrote the 13th tribe. So that also
So we got Israelites.
Go ahead.
We got the Israelites then. They out of Jews because Edomite wrote that book and exposed himself.
Lost Tribes and Promised Lands. Ronald R. Savage.
Right. That part not true too because they said it.
You niggas dickheads, yo.
Is this the Roman Empire, the empire of the Edomites?
William Beast.
Right. So,
I ain't even looking at the book. William Beast.
so this not Esau. The crowd is not Esau no more. The Esau wrote about themselves.
Right.
The Bible dictionary.
Right.
Right. The Compact Bible
Go
Dictionary.
strong and strong. Y'all niggas gonna get a little word up, but that's cool.
What's this? Satan's mark exposed 666.
Right. Y'all still good point.
Yeah,
Y'all
who
still
was Esau,
teach.
Edom?
Y'all still teach. Put this closer. Y'all still teach the RFID is the mark of the beast. But guess what? That's in the book right here. That's in the book.
That's right.
Hey, the devil wrote about it, man. But what they're getting it from? They still went through the Bible, man. They put 2 and 2 together because they wiser than you dumbass niggas, man.
Salaki. Theodore Roosevelt said it. He said the proper education of the Bible is better than having any school education, right? Any college degree. I got something very quick.
Hey, it says nothing is scared from them, man.
Hey,
All right,
so,
even Paul said Agrippa understood the prophets, all right, things. But Jake was teaching it. They had got certain understanding, man. So they passed them down, and that's why there's the whole Library of Congress where it's only certain books that only they can read. Because they got certain interpretation things written that Jake passed down prophets of old. They got all our stuff, man.
hey, it says the inward thought in the heart is deep. Every one of them, because Esau, he does what? A diligent search.
Hey, Herod did that. When Yahweh was born, how did he know to go to the Israelites, man?
Right.
How did he know that?
That's another thing. Really, a lot of these crackers watch the prophets, man. A lot of these crackers watch the prophets.
Yep.
There was a story about the one Rothschild, man. The fake Jew said, "How did you know about this?" He came up back in the day. He asked the elder.
Yeah, King Masha and High Priest Arya.
Exactly. He said, "How did you know about this?" They watch us, man. A lot of the stuff they watch and get from us. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, but
Hey, Salaki, in this book, it goes into the barcode thing, how they understood. The brother Kapari, the spirit revealed to him, even in the world. When he saw that the barcode shit started to come, he said that's the mark of the beast. And he didn't have a full understanding on the time, but knew that was leading up to it. Yeah. The fucking king of Egypt told the king of Judah to fall back. Yahweh sent me to go head with this nigga.
Aaron Russo, before he died, and Aaron Russo is the dude who made the movie Coming to America. All right, before he got put to death. All right, he was talking about the mark of the beast and all that. He know where they got it from, but going back to what the brother Yaki was saying, man, the elder was saying, man, he said the Lord will put that on your spirit just to teach other niggas that and get them destroyed. Hand. This is Isaiah 66:4. He said, I will choose their delusions. I will bring their fears upon them. None did answer. When I spake, they did not hear, but they did evil before my eyes and chose that in which I delighted not. And that's what you niggas doing, man. But the point is, the Lord said he will choose their delusions. So if you niggas really believe this, man, the Lord will put that on y'all spirit to teach that bullshit, man. All the niggas that wasn't chosen anyway, wiped out, man.
Yep.
I want to say, man, the Lord got you niggas in the trick bag.
That's
Right.
it.
And that's really it.
Yeah, that's that strong conclusion. That's that also the Isaiah, you know what I'm saying? Was that 6, 9, or 9 and 6? About
6 and 9.
Yeah. going down and making the ears heavy and the eyes flat.
Yep.
You know, it's that you know that their table has been made a trap and a snare, a stumbling block. All right, all this, whatever it is, your stumbling block is your stumbling block. So if you gonna sit up here and say, "Oh, so the white man knows some things," so everything that the white man knows, nah, it ain't the truth. Even though he's a liar, and to lie, you gotta know the truth. Go ahead.
This is Job chapter 12, verse 16. It says, "With him is strength and wisdom, deceiver are his."
Wait a minute. He said the deceived and the deceiver are his, man. That's the trick bag, man.
I had something to go right.
Niggas dumb as hell.
Back right him up. But this Proverbs 16:4. Yahweh have made all things for himself. Yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. So, amen, the Lord made all things for himself. So, amen, of course he set the so-called white men up to know some shit, man. So what is you talking about, man? Y'all this, you scoffers, man. That's why the Lord about to get rid of you scoffing ass niggas, man. He just gonna blow y'all off the fucking map, man.
It's a must. Hey, same to know it, but death by pain. After death by pain.
That's right, man. Wicked ass niggas, man.
That's why he said that then they would know that the prophet has been among them, man.
Yeah, this is Matthew's brothers mentioned it. I'm just bringing it out. Matthew 27, verse 19.
Damn, I was told it right here. Go ahead, right? That's the spirit, Matthew 27.
It says, when he was set down on the judgment seat, I'll start up 17. Therefore, when they were gathered together, Pilate said unto them, "Whom would ye that I release unto you, Barabbas or Yahushua, which is called Mashiach?" For he knew that for envy they had delivered him. When he was set down on the judgment seat, his wife sent unto him, saying, "Have thou nothing to do with that just man, for I have suffered many things this day in a dream because of him." And the Lord doing the same thing today, man. And the Lord said he would pour his spirit upon all flesh. You understand? So you even got heathens having visions of the end time, man. You got heathens having visions of nuclear destruction. You know? What does that mean? It ain't the truth no more?
Right. And something as simple as like the mark of the beast, that ain't nothing deep, man. You just look up the words, you know what I'm saying? And you can see, man. Put it that's a moth, man. That's 1 + 1 equal 2 right there.
Buy yourself.
Yeah, you know.
Let's go imprint it. It's something that's put in you.
Oh, yes. That right there, that's not a deep parable, man. You know, some of the things are plain.
I'll read this out this book just to back you up. That's serious. I was flipping and shit. All right, so this is on page 106 in this book, Satan Mark Exposed. All right, page 106. It says, now as you read this, it may seem far out and unbelievable, but this was written in 1981. I challenge you to read this in the year 2000 and see how believable it become. Or look back 20 years. All right, so it says, who would have thought 20 years ago that a laser beam will read the price of the products you buy and automatically register the amount on the cash register? Now I'm going to go to the next page. All right, chapter 14, right? The hand scan machine. Because this last chapter was called No Man May Buy. They figured, well, you got to be something that you need to buy yourself. Just plain shit. What can it be? So right here, the hand scan machine. They still had a full understanding. They didn't understand yet. But they was close, man, right here. Various methods of identification are being tested by the international banking community. Psalm 64:8, man, right here. The simplest one would be the smart credit card with this electronic memory chip. They just started doing that the last 2 years. And this was written in 1981. and you talking about some Esau just because they saying something or they ain't true? Motherfucker, we live in the time that they talking about right here. That's
right. Right. And you said that was 80 what?
1981.
Listen, nigga, I'm gonna tell you something. Boy, you didn't think a fucking computer was gonna even be on a cell phone. In 2004, if you would have told me we was gonna have goddamn fucking Instagram and YouTube and shit right there on our phone, I would have looked at you like you was fucking crazy, man. You niggas stupid, man. And this all the way at 81, man.
I'll bring this out. This is Psalm 64, and it's in the same chapter, right? I'm gonna read it down to verse 8 that the brothers already brought out. This Psalm 64, verse 6. They search out iniquities, they accomplish a diligent search. They do it right there, right? It says, both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. But the Most High shall shoot at them with an arrow, suddenly shall they be wounded. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall flee away, man. You know? So that they tongue falling upon themselves because they the deep search that they doing. And they coming up with these things, these Negroes, when we went and got their ass, they were speaking Hebrew, they were writing Hebrew, they was having Hebrew customs. These Native Americans, these Indians, we call them savages, they were writing in Hebrew. All this is written in books. We didn't write these books.
Right.
Our enemy did. Like
Right.
Job said.
Hey, Christopher Columbus knew to come over here because he knew the scriptures, man. That.
All right, and they put that in the movie.
Right.
They put that in that movie. 1492.
That's right.
Now and Esau also, he controls the internet. You can go research it and tell you he interprets with him.
That's right.
That's right.
Like Esau tells you these things, man.
Right.
Hey, when it says that we should come in for one of all things, currently we got to deal with him on certain shit.
Right. Because really, you know, like this book is a book of law, statutes, and commandments. It's a book of history. So they got that history. You know what I'm saying? They know what happened. It happened. You know what I'm saying? They got the records, you know, especially the elite. And then you're going to have some other ones figure certain little things out, you know?
And when they give it to you, they'll give you the rugged breakdown. Bro, they know it, man. For example, like how they teach niggas after they rape, rob, murder, and kill niggas, Latins, and Native Americans, they'll teach you God is all up. But they know God is the master of killing, man. He what the fuck is that movie, man, with them freaks? Yeah, that's a deep ass movie too. It's bugged out, man. Interview with the Vampire. When Brad Pitt was turning out Tom Cruise, man, he bit him. He made him a vampire, but basically Brad Pitt. All right, he was empathetic and emotional. So religious, man, and you so deep into your religion. He paraphrased. He said, "Don't you know that God is the master of killing people and death? You don't know about this stuff, man." Then he kind of explained it to him, and then he just looked at him, man. He said, "So basically, if it was really about God, you be wanting these motherfuckers to die, man."
Now, I'm gonna go to page 110 in this, man, and this gonna hit right what you said, Yaki. This is. So it says one can see how Revelations 13, 15 through 18 is already coming into possibility. Everyone will have to have a mark on their right hand or on their forehead. This identifying system will confirm allegiance to Antichrist. That bones and basic facts regarding the mark of Revelation 13. Fact 1. To receive the mark, each person will have to worship his image. All right, following after this system. Okay? All right, for the love of money is the root of all evil. You're going to pledge your allegiance to the damn devil. It tells you nothing worse than a covetous man. He has set his own soul for sale, man.
That's right.
All right. Those who, fact 2, those who refuse to worship the image of Antichrist will be killed. No matter, fact 3, no matter what position in society, no whether rich or poor, all will have to receive the mark in order to function. Point 4, the total economy will center around the mark. And then it says no buying or selling can be done without it. Exclamation point, man. All plain, 1 plus 1, man. Fact 5, the mark is not a credit card. I actually don't have it mailed to you. It will be a permanent marking system placed on the right hand or forehead. Fact 6, by receiving the mark, you will automatically doom yourself to an eternity in hell. They go on for that part, you know. But it's just letting you know that it's something that's going to be in you, or you can't buy or sell without it. You can't function without it, man. Esau was telling you that, man. It can't be nothing but the chip.
Right.
So just because Esau is giving you something, they still went off on things. It's still the parable unto them.
Right.
But they had a certain understanding of things that they was allowed to receive.
Exactly.
The rest, the men of the Lord got to break down.
Exactly.
All right? It's that simple.
Hey, well, like you say, you know, it's simple for plain unto the holy,
Yeah,
but so are they stumbling blocks unto the wicked, man. If you're wicked, you're going to stumble at something.
Anyway, you're going to get offended at one point.
You're going to get offended, you're going to stumble. You know, it's going to be something that you stumble at, man.
Yeah,
Right.
in the book of Isaiah, it says what? You deliver the book unto a learned man. He said, I cannot because, you know, I can't read it.
Right.
You learn to an unlearned man. He said, I cannot because I'm unlearned. The book is still sealed to them. Now, when you read Revelation, the 5th chapter, it says that who was worthy to loose the seals? Yahushua. He revealed, who did that understanding get revealed unto? Those he chose, man. Those that are covered by his blood. Amos 3:7.
And he said, many he told the disciples, many prophets and kings, you know, desire to see what you see.
Because they didn't understand it. When Jeremiah had his visions, when Daniel, besides the ones where the Lord would interpret it, you know, but they didn't understand the visions, man.
I got you right here. This is let me see.
Because in the book of Second Entrance, the angel explained to Entrance, like, look, hey, this is the same beast, this is the same kingdom that was in our brother Daniel vision, but it wasn't expounded unto him. You know? So Daniel seen it, but he didn't understand it. You know?
Hey, I got it right here. This is Daniel 12, all right, in verse 4. Just going into what we said. And it said, but thou, O Daniel, shut up the words, even to the time of the end, which is now. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased. And that's what you're seeing. And that's why we actually understand these breakdowns, man. You know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, through the tutelage of the elders. That's why we're getting this. And that's why we say, Lord willing, we be y'all let. Because it ain't 2 chains, man. And the damn sure ain't you niggas scoffing. Y'all got something?
This is 1 Kings 22. And I started at 14. I started at 13. And the messenger that was going to call Micaiah spake unto him, saying, behold now, the words of the prophets declare good unto the king with one mouth. Let thy word, I pray thee, be like the word of one of them, and speak that which is good. And Micaiah said, as Yahweh liveth, what Yahweh said unto me, that will I speak. So he came to the king, and the king said unto him, Micaiah, shall we go against Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall we forbear? And he answered him, go and prosper, for Yahweh shall deliver into the hand of the king. And the king said unto him, how many times shall I endure thee, that thou tell me nothing but that which is true in the name of Yahweh? And he said, I saw all Israel scattered upon the hills, and sheep that have not a shepherd, have no master. Let them return every man to his house in peace. And the king of Israel said unto Jehoshaphat, did I not tell thee that he would prophesy no good concerning me, but evil? And he said, hear thou now therefore the word of Yahweh. I saw Yahweh sitting on his throne, and all the hosts of heaven standing by him on his right hand and on his left.
And so the Lord got right hand spirits, left hand spirits, man. Psalm 78:49 goes to the evil angels. That's right. All right, real quick, this is Ecclesiastes 10:2. In his right hand, but a full heart at his left. There's a right hand and a left hand side, man. All right, the right is of course the righteous, you know, the on one side, the left is the what you would call the evil side, man. All right, Isaiah 45 and 7. All right, the Lord create darkness and make light. All right, but sure.
It's Isaiah 45 and 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I Yahweh do all these things.
God, the right and left, man, that's the balance. All right, so when them demons is fucking people going praying to dealing with Ouija boards, demons is fucking with them, or motherfuckers is into witchcraft and dealing with spirits, like the scriptures call familiar spirits. The Lord is allowing the left hand to give you that power, man. That's still Yahweh about showing you how to allowing you to deal with that stuff. So you get certain things, like Balaam, being who he was called to put a curse on Israel. The Lord didn't allow that because he's in control of the left hand side too. All right, you keep on the things.
It says, verse 20, and Yahweh said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before Yahweh and said, I will persuade him. And Yahweh said unto him, wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also. Go forth and do so. Now therefore, behold, Yahweh hath put a lying spirit in the mouth of all these thy prophets, and Yahweh has spoken evil concerning you.
Sent the lying spirit on him, man. I put a trick back to him. So showing he's controlling the right and the left, he's controlling the witchcraft. Hey, but look, the Lord is taking it all the way, man. It's Micah 5:12. I will cut off witchcrafts out of thy hand, and thou shalt have no more soothsayers. So the Lord gave them that power, and the Lord is taking that away. That don't change the fact that what the word says is true, man. And that's why in Jeremiah, in fact, I'm gonna get it real quick. See, this is the thing right here. This is Jeremiah 23. And 28. The prophet that have the dream, let him tell a dream. All right, like the brother Yeshua, y'all read, man. And that Job, the Lord speaking to man in deep sleep. Just as Balaam, the Lord put that trance on him. He had a dream. So the Lord said, speak it, man, go ahead. All right? And he that has my word, let him speak my word faithfully. What is the shaft to the wheat, saith Yahweh? Hey, so like this book right here, this Satan's Smart Exposed. They got some stuff in there, man, that they received and picked up on. That's just been wiser than Daniel. All right, but they still the shaft. We got the full understanding. They talk about the Antichrist maybe here. They going off on a lot of stuff. We got the wheat. That's the difference, man.
How you get Antichrist out of Revelation 13?
Bro, because they ain't got it. They the shaft. Exactly. They the shaft. Just as Balaam, he was able to talk about Yahweh coming, and he said, hey, but not. And to him, it still was mainly a parable. He had a little understanding. He knew Esau, Edom's be destroyed. That's plain. It said, Edom shall get this, Moab will get this. Him that shall bruise shall come out of Jacob, that star. So that's plain. But the deepness behind it, he ain't get. All right, so what's the shaft to the wheat? That's the difference. They the shaft, they see some things. All right, the Lord pouring his spirit upon that scripture is going to mainly Israel, but it's manifold. Even some fucking these heathens, they see visions at night. All right, it's fucking with it. They know what's coming, but they're only getting parts of it. They're only getting just enough. It's like you will see a nigga make a video saying saw all this fire and destruction coming, but then they still talk about Jesus came. All right? Hey, that's to the Lord. The Lord said, get in Deuteronomy, he said, if a prophet comes and entice thee, you do a miracle, the Lord used him to test you. The Lord get power on the left-hand side too.
Hey, I got it right here.
Go ahead.
This is Isaiah 13. Salaki. No, this is Isaiah 47.
That's the spirit.
This is Isaiah 47 and 12. Hey, spirit, man. Stand now with thy enchantments, going into the so-called white man. All right, his visions. All right, this is Isaiah 47 and 12. Stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be thou be able to profit, if so thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. So they can't go and conjure up their demons or their witchcraft, you know, because the Most High saying, all this still gonna come. I don't like you niggas, right? You niggas, right? All you niggas marching, all you niggas taking a knee for some goddamn. Look, man, that ain't gonna stop the Most High from destroying this place with intercontinental ballistic missiles.
Right.
All right. So it ain't nothing. And a white man can't go to his left hand demons, man, because the Lord gonna cut off the sorceries, man. Like he's saying right here in Isaiah, because the Lord, going back to the point, the Lord still give that power on the left hand side to these devils, man. Yeah. That's it on that. Quick.
Swift.
Chapter 23, we start at verse 9. On the left hand, where he does work, that I cannot behold him. He hideth himself on the right hand, that I cannot see him. But he knoweth the way that I take, and he hath tried me. I shall come forth as though my foot had held his steps. His way have I kept, and not declined. Back from the commandments of his lips. I have esteemed the words of his mouth more than my necessary food. And that's fine, man. Just showing you how the Most High deals with the left and the right hand side.
And he said, and Job said, "What? I'm gonna deal with his word." To that chaff in the wheat, man. This Deuteronomy, you gonna read it?
Yeah. This is Deuteronomy 13, verse 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams,
And get 2 Thessalonians 2:9.
and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, Let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them.
All right, so showing that the Lord can put power, not can, but he does at times give power to the people on the left hand side, man.
That's right.
All right, the dream of dreams. All right, the false prophecies, astrologers, prognosticators, all this shit. Everybody on some things, man. The Lord gives them that power to do so. They get the witcher indoor. It ain't called the witcher indoor, but that's from the movie. But that's where they got it from, the indoor scenario, man. Was King Saul. Go ahead, McClain.
It says, Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet, dreams, for Yahweh your power proveth you to know whether you love Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, your power, with all your heart and with all your soul.
God, and there you go, the test. Keep going.
Okay. It says, ye shall walk after Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushai, your power, and keep his commandments and obey his voice, and you shall serve him and cleave unto him.
So it's a test. It's a test. So, hey, like this book right here, this motherfucker talk all this shit and be on point with some stuff, and still what's the shaft to the wheat, man. His word is still supreme. We still got the full understanding, like the brother Yaka said. Hey, the Lord allowed these motherfuckers to push this shit out there. Hey, so some motherfuckers like you scoffers, oh, they ain't right, but y'all, this damn devils are the same thing. Now you stumble because he said something that's along the lines of a miracle that came to pass on that's true, a true prophecy. But he was going off to understand on certain things. But we tell you the true word, which is the way it's gonna be all the way in its totality, and now you don't follow this at all. But you fucking stumbling away. When the Lord controls both sides, that's plain evident right there. It said he caused that miracle to come to pass. Believe the Lord got these damn demons going to these witches, telling them, yeah, you got to do it like this. As a Cody, yeah, you know, you got to have these 3 warnings to set this up. It's like I'm getting the rulership of the world. Hey, but that's all part of, like Psalm 73 say, man, the Lord sent them to slippery places. Slippery. All right, you fall into your own snare. All right? Because you think that you got the world for yourself. That goes to Isaiah 10. And your man think you did on your own. I gathered all the nations as a egg to the nest. But the Lord is like, no. I set you up. I put you in this position. I had them tell you the right way of doing this. I had you set up the perfect money system. All right? That leads to this digital currency. The Lord did all of this. And it's all written. Literally all of it. Even the fucking money system. The thick debt. Thick clay. All right? The love of money is all evil, which leads to the mark. All this is all set up, man.
What you niggas gonna tell you?
They got it from the scriptures. They learned how did Egypt become great. They tell you how Egypt became great. Through Joseph, man, the people had to sell themselves to escape the famine. So they taking the same thing. You can't buy yourself unless you got this. You got to sell yourself to us to buy yourself to get food. They got that from Genesis. There's nothing that's hid from them, man.
I got a quick scripture. Hey, that's a spirit. You said that. But so I'm gonna start at 15. Yeah, this is Isaiah 29 and 15. It says, "Woe to them that seek deep to hide their counsels from the Lord, who gave you the counsel." All right, and their works are hid in the dark, and they say, "Who seeth us and who knoweth us?" Surely the turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he hath no understanding? I made you, the Lord set you up like the brother was going into with the money system, with the wars and every way, which way but fucking Thursday, how you like set up things. The Lord gave you that, but he also gave you a limit. Matter of fact, let me get this real quick. This is Job 14. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. So the white man is always going to be crooked. He ain't going to receive salvation, and he damn sure ain't going to keep the kingdom. All right? Seeing his days are determined, Job 14 and 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee. That's the Most High. All right? The number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So this dude, look, he got a time limit, wisdom limit. He got all. Right. The Lord set him up, man. He's the potter's clay, man. Don't the scripture also say one for honor and one for dishonor? This is the Lord's work, man. The potter's clay. Goes when he was. You see it? It's just like the potter's clay, man. You look at the Second Thessalonians.
The Second Thessalonians, chapter 2, verse 9. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders.
There you go. So Esau came after the work of Satan, because that's who steady is on earth. He is the left-hand side, manifest on earth, like we're the sons on the right-hand side manifest on earth, man. All right? Complete opposite. So he said he comes in all signs and wonders, man. So Esau go before, they deep counsel. All right, like the brother Murphy's going into their damn secret meetings. They set up their shit, go to pray to demons. And these demons come, get them the miracles, tell them how to do things. Esau is oblivious to the fact that the Lord is making these damn demons tell them these things, lead them into their own destruction, lead them to their own fucking fall into their own pit. It's work.
That's right. That's right.
The Lord, what does it say? The Lord of hosts mustered the battle. And what does it say in Zephaniah 3 and 8? His determination is to gather the nations and pour upon them his indignation, man. All right, so he set their minds up to do these world wars. And this big one, this last one, World War III, in the Valley of Armageddon. So now that's not the damn end, because the damn Cracker wrote about it over 100 years ago. Over 1,000 years ago. Thousands, man. That's just determination. That's been the whole big hoop leading up to that's the last hurrah. So now it's just not that no more. They mean that. What's the Valley of Decisions then?
Right.
What's the Second Exodus 13 going into all these nations that met up, fighting each other? They turn to the Lord and fight against him. Where's that at then? What does that mean? I mean, it's like
the guy Albert Pike, that's what he's talking about. The one who wrote in order to get the world dominance, you need to set up 3 world wars, man.
What's that? Norms and dogma.
And this guy Albert Pike, all the Freemasonry and witchcrafts, they worship him as that cheap dude. And they get that. Hey, that's the spirit of Yahweh Shadows. Lion spirits came sup with his ass. Revealed unto them these things. Hey, look, this is the plan. 3 world wars, boom, boom, boom. So go with that. Matter of fact, I got a scripture real fast. This is Revelation, real swift, brothers, real swift. This is Revelation 17, and I'm gonna start at 16. It says, "In the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. For the Most High hath put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree and give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High shall be fulfilled, man. So just like Ada Albert Pike, that dirty ass sorcerer, man, him the knowledge to do those things, man. And Esau is following that plan to the T. And whose will is it? The will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, man.
It's that time that all these things is coming out, man. This is second Esdras. Oh, Salakia. This is second Esdras, chapter 6, verse 28. It says, "As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth, which hath been so long without fruit, shall be declared." Now, the main people that truth is coming from are the prophets, the men of the Lord. All right. Well, guess what? Also, like the scriptures we brought out from Psalms, all right, that their tongue is falling upon themselves. It talks about how they're going to be exposed and made bare. Okay, so all that truth is coming out. All right, and it talks about how the kingdom divided against itself, and the 10 toes how it's coming against each other. Why? Because some of the truths, even upon themselves, are going to be bringing some of those things out. Okay, so just because that's the case, don't mean it now. Oh, whatever they say now, it ain't nothing that they gonna come out with is gonna be fact. You know what I'm saying? No, they're gonna go ahead and the Lord is gonna put a spirit on them to say the things that they say, to expose themselves, so that scripture and Psalms can come to pass. All right, so that don't make it now not the truth. Certain things. All right.
Yep, because it's all the will of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah. Even when Esau thinks he's smart and he does something to try to offset the prophecy, guess what you just did?
Yeah.
Put the prophecy in motion, man.
Yeah.
What did Herod do? He went and sought for the priest where the Messiah is gonna be born. Oh, in Bethlehem, in Bethlehem,
So
right?
they had to flee to Egypt, which proved the prophecy that out of Egypt I call my son.
And Rachel weeping for her children, man.
That's right.
So you fulfilling the prophecy, Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah.
You can do nothing against the truth, but for it.
Go ahead. Why you got to preach it?
This chapter 21, verse 1. It says, "The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whatsoever he will."
That's it. So, and this is the Most High's program, and he's waking up the elect. He's bugging out the 2/3. All the stumbling blocks that he's going to use, even the ones that now that Esau tongue is falling upon himself. Now that he's using Esau to bring out some certain things, that is correct. You know what I'm saying? Now that those prophecies are coming to pass, now, oh yeah, nothing that they say could be true.
Stupid. The jab to the weak, man. Satan was right.
Right.
The Lord quoted, said basically the same thing Satan said. Become as God's no good and evil.
Right. That's it. Yeah. Go ahead.
But like you was saying, man, hey man, the Most High using everybody in this world, because this is His will, man. This is Yahweh Bashem will. This is Isaiah 55:11. Word be that go forth out of my mouth, it shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the things whereto I sent. So, hey, man, the Most High, hey, man, if he had the so-called white man telling some truth, hey, he used him because he using him to accomplish his work, man. Doing his will, man. So what is you talking about? And then, hey, he set us up, and this really just proving the truth even more. Hey, man, that's just beautiful because we about to get the hell up out of here.
Right.
So why are you coming against this? Hey, you ain't gotta believe in this. You 2/3. You're gonna be destroyed.
They wanted something to believe.
Exactly. So, hey, man, just get ready for destruction because, hey, man, the Lord's word is being accomplished no matter who he used, man. No matter who he used, the work is being done. The
prophecies is coming to pass, and that's it, man.
That's right.
Right, hey, ultimately, as long as you got the men that he set up telling you, then that's it. No matter who else saying it too, whether it's wrong or right, you know, coming from somebody else. If the prophets, the true men of the Lord, are saying it, then it's it, because that's the word of Yahweh Shah. And it's simple as that. And you do well if you take heed.
That's
All right, but you know, we understand that 2/3 of our people not gonna take heed. They're not gonna understand. They're not gonna get it. They're not gonna believe it. They don't believe in the order. All right, we understand that. But hey, we doing this for the elect's sake, man. That's it. We already understand. We just trying to do our part, Lord willing. We be part of that number, man.
That's right.
And then do it to the end.
They ain't gonna know it till death by pain, man. That's all.
That's it.
And the kings of old, they understood and accepted that the Lord was ruler. They took what they had to take, man. Esau is really the first one to really try to fight against the Lord, man. Time that the kingdom was marked to go down, but this is the first time that they have fight against the Lord, man. All right, like Revelation 12:12, it says that they should come down and break wrath, but they have a short time. So that means Esau know what's happening. Esau know what time it is, man. You niggas just dumb. All right, I'm trying to find this again. You really take it apart. We break that some weird.
Oh yeah, that's this.
I ain't got nothing over there.
This one right to the wall, man. I got you.
Yeah, because just the back in the Deuteronomy 13:2, it says, and the sign or the wonder come to pass where he's speaking to thee, saying, let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them, to the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For Yahweh your power proveth you to know whether you love Yahweh your power with all your heart and with all your soul. So just like our brother explained earlier, that the Lord allows, right? It's the same thing that happened. This is Exodus 7, and I started at 8. It says, and Yahweh spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, when Pharaoh shall speak unto you, saying, show a miracle for you, to Aaron, take thy rod and cast it before Pharaoh, and it shall become a serpent. And Moses and Aaron went in unto Pharaoh, and they did so as the Lord had commanded. And Aaron cast down his rod before Pharaoh and before his servants, and it became a serpent. Then Pharaoh also called the wise men and the sorcerers. Now the magicians of Egypt, they also did in like manner with their enchantments. And that's what hardened Pharaoh's heart. Because he's like, oh, well, it ain't, you know, they can do the same thing, man.
Exactly. So he didn't believe, but they can do it too. And that's the same thing with you niggas. They going into it too.
Yeah.
But they ain't going as deep. Because guess what? They only went so far, and they couldn't do the stuff Moses was doing.
That's right. Even his serpent swallowed up theirs. Man.
Exactly.
You know, we're showing you whose power was greater.
The shaft to the weak, man. Hey, you got the Daniel 5? Start at verse you got something else, man?
This is Acts 8 and verse 9. It says, but there was a certain man called Simon, which before time in the same city used sorcery and bewitched the people of Samaria, giving out that himself was some great one, he from the least to the greatest, saying, this man is the great power of the Most High. And to him they had regard, because that of long time he had bewitched them with sorceries. But when they believed Philip, preaching the things concerning the kingdom of the Most High in the name of Yahushua, they were baptized, both men and women. Then Simon himself believed also, and when he was baptized, he continued with Philip and wondered, beholding the miracles and the signs which were done. You know, so it shows you that what Philip was doing was miraculous. He couldn't do that, man. You know, because the power of Yahweh, the weak to the chaff, man. What was that in Daniel?
5, start at verse 3, we're going to skip down.
Got it. This is Daniel chapter 5 and 3. And they brought the golden vessels that were taken out of the temple of the house of God, which was at Jerusalem. And the king and his princes, his wives and his concubines, drank in them.
So keep in mind, Israel is in slavery. All right, take it down, just like now. It's like many other captivities. Go ahead.
They drank wine and praised the gods of gold and of silver and of brass, of iron, of wood, and of stone. In the same hour came forth fingers of a man's hand and wrote over against the candlestick upon the plaster of the wall of the king's palace.
Now they drink out of my holy things. All right, and what the Lord do because his wisdom doesn't sit by idly? He sent an apparition, a hand to come out of nowhere and fuck with these. Now these are heathens. This ain't even Israel. These are heathens. Go ahead.
It says, and the king saw the part of the hand that wrote. Then the king's countenance was changed, and his thoughts troubled him, so that the joints of his loins were loosed, and his knees smote one against another. The king cried aloud to bring the astrologers, the Chaldeans, and the soothsayers, and the king spake and said to them, Salakia. And the king spake and said to the wise men of Babylon, whosoever shall read this writing and show me the interpretation thereof shall be clothed with scarlet and have a chain of gold about his neck and shall be the third ruler in the kingdom. Then came in all the king's wise men, but they could not read the writing, nor make known to the king the interpretation thereof. Then was King Belshazzar greatly troubled, and his countenance was changed in him, and his lords were astonished.
Let's get down to shit. It's also good. I'm gonna let you read through it out there.
Okay, I'll try to read pretty fast. Verse 10, it says, now the queen by
Swift,
Swift. All right.
Nah.
Verse 10, it says, now the queen, by reason of the words of the king and his lords, came into the banquet house. And the queen spake and said, O king, live forever. Let not thy thoughts trouble thee, nor let thy countenance be changed.
Man, that's what recommend. Look how humble this heathen woman was approaching her husband, man. Said, live forever, you know, humble herself. So I just want to make that point. Sloppy.
God, you right?
Hey, man, you right.
It's going back to that. Verse 11. There is a man in thy kingdom, in whom is the spirit of the holy God.
God, going showing that these astrologers on the left-hand side was weak, man. They did stuff for the king at times, man. Otherwise, why would he have them in their council?
That's right.
The Chaldeans were counted, you know, they was these same people, they were considered the wisest in the land. All right, so if they was in the king's presence, they did things. They had certain understanding of things, but the Lord didn't allow them to understand this one. All right, just like they was able to throw their staff down, turn to a snake, but Moses, they ate this. And then at a certain level, they couldn't do it, replicate what Moses was able to. Go ahead.
Right. So it says, there is a man in thy kingdom in whom is the spirit of the holy gods, and in the days of thy father, light and understanding and wisdom, like the wisdom of the gods, was found in him, whom the king Nebuchadnezzar, thy father, the king, I say thy father, made master of the magicians, astrologers, Chaldeans, and soothsayers.
God, shafts to the weak, man. He outshined them, man, because he had to deal with the right-hand side of the house instead of the left-hand side, man. If they had their certain level of miracles, but he didn't forget.
Just like in First Esdras, when everybody tried to come up with some wisdom, it was the Israelites, man. The truth was that Zerubbabel, they had broke down what was wise and what was the truth when he talked about women and the truth and so forth and so on, man. He gave that breakdown, man. Because the other guys didn't have it, man. Zerubbabel had the wisdom of the holy God.
That's right. God. So verse 12, it says, for as much as an excellent spirit and knowledge and understanding, interpreting of dreams and showing of hard sentences and dissolving of doubts were found in the same Daniel, whom the king named Belteshazzar. Now let Daniel be called, and he will show thee the interpretation. Then was Daniel brought in before the king, and the king spake and said unto Daniel, Art thou Daniel, which art of the children of the captivity of Judah, whom the king my father brought out of Jura? I have even heard of thee, that the spirit of the gods is in thee, and that light and understanding and wisdom. And now the wise men and astrologers have been brought in before me, that they should read this writing and make known unto me the interpretation thereof, but they could not show me the interpretation of the thing. And I have heard of thee that thou canst make things and dissolve doubts. Now, if thou canst read the writing and make known to me the interpretation thereof, thou shalt be clothed with scarlet and have a chain of gold about thy neck, and shalt be third ruler in the kingdom. Daniel answered and said before the king, Let thy gifts be to thyself, and give thy rewards to another. Yet I will read the writing unto the king, and make known to him the interpretation. O thou king, the most high power gave Nebuchadnezzar, thy father, a kingdom, and majesty, and glory, and honor. And for the majesty that he gave him, all people, nations, and languages trembled and feared before him. Whom he would, he slew, and whom he would, he kept alive. And whom he would, he set up, and whom he would. But when his heart was lifted up, and his mind hardened in pride, he was disposed from his kingly throne, and they took his glory from him. And he was driven from the sons of men, and his heart was made like the beasts, and his dwelling was with the wild asses.
Yeah, his ass bugged out. You think a king just choose to stop fucking all his bitches, stop drinking all his wine, stop living in all his glory, on his own just to go on the field and get fucking butt naked and probably bugged out, licking the ground, man? That's the spirit of Yahweh Shimmy I was shot at. Bug that nigga out, man. The same spirit that bugged you, punk ass niggas out.
That's right. It says, and his dwelling was with the wild asses. They fed him with grass like oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven.
Nigga bugged out, bro. Nigga Buffalo Bill, bro, putting the lotion in the basket.
That's right. It says, till he knew that the Most High God, Yahweh, ruled in the kingdom of men, and that he appointed over it whomsoever he will.
Right, going back into that Daniel 4:17. If I'm not mistaken, he set it up in the faces of men, man.
That's right.
Man, hey, look, man. The white man is over us, man. You know it's the end, man.
That's right.
The white man? Please, man.
That's right. It says, and thou, his son, Belshazzar, has not humbled thine heart, though thou knewest all this, but hast lifted up thyself against the Lord of heavens, and they have brought thy vessels of his house before thee, and thou and thy lords, thy wives, and thy concubines have drunk wine in them.
Right.
And thou hast praised the gods of silver and gold, of brass, iron, wood, and stone, which see not, nor hear, nor know. And the God in whose hand thy breath is, and whose are all thy ways, hast thou not glorified.
Right. Right.
It says, then was the part of the hand sent from him, and this writing was written. And this is the writing that was written.
And this is what's about to happen to Esau.
Many, Tico Parson. This is the interpretation of the thing. Many, God hath numbered thy kingdom and finished it.
Going back to that Job 14:5.
Tico, Thou art weighed in the balances and art found
That's right.
Perez. Thy kingdom is divided and given unto the Medes and Persians.
Right. So actual apparition came out to this king and gave him a prophecy. All right. Now he didn't have understanding at the moment, but Daniel did. But it still came to him first. This king.
Right.
And they hold that, oh, they got it first, got it. Well, this king got this first.
Right.
He ain't had no full understanding. Daniel did. But check it out. Keep going.
Cut. Verse 29. It says, Then commanded Belshazzar, and they clothed Daniel with scarlet and put a chain of gold about his neck and made a proclamation concerning him, that he should be third ruler in the kingdom. And that night was Belshazzar, the king of the Chaldeans, slain.
Hey, look at that. So, like I was saying, Esau was the first one. When he get the prophecy, instead of accepting it, he want to fight against the Lord. He want to, Revelation 12:12, us come fight against us.
Right.
But that's him keeping the prophecy. He just don't realize that he trying to offset it. You coming against us is actually in the prophecies. But the fact of the matter is, they get these visions, they get these apparitions, they get things from their dreams. This stuff comes to them. And it's just that plain. It came to him. Now he accepted it. All right. But Esau, being the devil he is, he ain't accepting it because he's supposed to come against us.
That's right.
But this all showing this is true for him, man. Exactly, man. This all showing this is the truth. This is the first time that the king ain't accepting what the Lord has told them. The Lord has set them up. They know that the Lord set them up. All right, but they don't want to be taken down. All right, this is all prophecy, man. This is Jeremiah 50:7. All that found them have devoured them, and the adversary said, "We offend not, because they have sinned against the Lord, the habitation of justice, even the Lord, the hope of their fathers." So, like I said, man, they did a diligent search. They search our iniquity. So they man, like, look, we got let it go. We got them sinning. So now they got to stand in subjection to us. But now we waking up, letting them know, no, you still going down.
Right.
The Lord set up the perfect plan for us to get out of here. How Shai coming, being murdered and raised again for us to be lifted from under the curses. All right? And you guys are still going to fall into your own trap. All right? But this is their mindset, man. This is how the Lord operates on the right and the left. He set them up to do just these things they're doing. They got information about it, and they fall into his trap.
Hey, and another thing, here it is. They letting us know when we watch these. See, that's why it talks about like that day shall not overtake you as a thief, because you watching the prophet. I mean, you watching the news. Hey, the main motherfucking news, motherfuckers. We watching our crackers. That's letting us know geopolitically and politically what's going on in the world. Part of what's going on in the world is that chip. Breaking down the scriptures, right. You know what I'm saying? It's just that they putting one and one together, you know what I'm saying? And that's all it is, you know what I'm saying? Because they letting us know about certain things. Oh yeah, the war is over here, it's going down. Oh yeah, the money system is, you know what I'm saying? Yep. Look at that, this is about to go down. Here it is. That's all prophecies. We putting it all together through the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? See, they putting things together in the way that they put it together. But just because they putting it together, what? That mean now it ain't it no more? It ain't fact that this devil about to go down through economically. You know what I'm saying? Through every amelie.
And thermonuclear destruction.
Right.
That's their big thing. Because some cracker basically almost broke. He didn't even have it right. He had the image wrong, but he was close. He got to the point that it's gonna be a nuke. It's gonna be nukes hitting this motherfucker.
Right.
He still was off on shit. Right. But he had part. He was a shaft. Exactly. We giving you the whole breakdown. So what? This cracker is telling you that nukes is coming. Everybody fucking should know that by now. Right. That shit is inevitable.
Right off MTV Jams.
Shit. Ain't no escaping that. Thanks, Trump. Yeah, I really sincerely mean that. You know, that shit ain't going nowhere, man.
That's right.
I got a scripture
Hey, it says, this is Ezra 1 and 1. It said, now in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, the heathen. Now in the first year of Cyrus, king of Persia, the heathen, that the word of the Lord by the mouth of Jeremiah the prophet might be fulfilled, the Lord stirred up. Now there's a point. The Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus, king of Persia, and made a proclamation throughout all his kingdom, and put it also in writing, saying. So it said right there, the Lord stirred up the spirit of Cyrus. And going like the brother 2001 just said, he saw the only king who the Lord revealed something to, and he rebelled. Did Cyrus rebel? No. It said, verse 2, it says, thus said Cyrus, king of Persia, the Lord God of heaven have made me all kingdoms of the have given me all kingdoms of the earth, and he have charged me to build a house at Jerusalem, which is in Judah. So he said the Lord stirred up his spirit. The Lord gave him the plan. He gave him the whole map. It ain't really nothing. You can't scoff that, man. That's concrete.
This is Isaiah 10, and we start at 12. Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion, and on Jerusalem I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria, and the glory of his high looks. Now this king of Assyria, this is not talking about old Assyria, because this never happened. This is talking about ancient Assyria, we would never went back to captivity. I just talking about now, man. Today, America is the new Assyria, man. It's the new Babylon, the new Egypt. All right? New Sodom. Right, new Rome.
Oh, yeah, you can't forget Sodom.
He said, by the strength of my hand, I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, and I have removed the bounds of the people, treasures, and I have put down the heavens like the valiant men. And my hand has found as a nest the riches of the people, and as one gathered eggs that are left, have I gathered all the earth. And there was none that moved the wing or opened the mouth of people. And for one, this is bullshit, because they forgot that this was a blessing that they were given, all right, from Isaac, from the Lord anyway, to rule the world. So now you just did on your own. You think you came with the stuff on your own? You used the scriptures to get a lot of information. You went and sought the power source on the left-hand side to even do these things. So you went to the Lord through the left-hand side. And you do it every fucking day. That's why you have Bohemian Grove. That's why you do all this witchcraft. So how the fuck now I'm doing them all? The more you gotta go to these goddamn demons things. You still going through the Lord, man. You just an idiot, don't realize it. You ain't deny it.
Accuse your brethren is cast down.
Kind.
You accusing us to the Lord, but you did it to yourself.
Kind. And my hand has found as the nest the riches of the people, eggs that are left, and I gathered all the earth, and there was none that moved the wing or opened the mouth or peeped. Shall the axe boast itself against him that heweth therewith? Or shall the saw magnify itself against him that shaketh it? As if the rod should shake itself against them and lift it up. Or as if the staff should lift up itself as if it were no wood. You just an instrument in the Lord's hand, and you talking about, I'm doing this on my own. But you get seeking so deep to have your counsel to do all this stuff. Esau goes to the left-hand side, man. The Lord gave him his power to do these things. All right? So they got some things that's in line with the Lord, man. Even Satan himself, which is still the same guy, Esau, understood the fall of Adam and Eve. All right, use that and trick them. Like, you'll be as the gods. You surely won't die. He lied to him, enticed them, and then said, you'll be as the gods.
Hey, the scripture say he transformed himself to a marvelous angel of light. So he got to come with some type of truth, man, to pump that lie, man. He transformed himself into a marvelous angel of light. Hey, what is Project Bluebeam, man? For many miracles, man. To deceive the hearts of the simple, man.
This is Daniel. It's like Deuteronomy 32. Deuteronomy 32 and 30. How shall one chase 1,000 and two put 10,000 in flight, except that rock has sold them, and the Lord has shut them up? For their rock is not as our rock, even our enemies themselves being judges. The Lord ruled in the kingdom of men. He set it up who we choose. He dealt with the different nations how he seen fit, the specific people. He dealt with Balaam. He dealt with Nebuchadnezzar. He dealt with his son. He dealt with that king of Egypt. He dealt with Abimelech. He dealt with how he chose to, man. All right, but the oracles are still given to us. The full understanding, the breakdown, this word is to us. They get the peace that he desired them to get. To fuck with them, usually they will tear it. They would lock them into their hard-headedness, man. Or to give them the counsel on what he needs them to do.
But it's vessels.
Exactly. It's still all according to the Lord's plan, man. So it ain't no far-out thing that, yeah, Esau had a vision or something, a close understanding to break it down that the nukes was coming. It still wasn't a full breakdown, but it's still fucking happening, man. First, got anything? First, got anything?
No, I ain't got nothing, brother.
I had something basically, man. I'm gonna bring this out because making a point on what Murph said, man. Hey, the Lord basically, man, ran the scriptures, man. Y'all can't see it, man. This is Isaiah 6:10. Make the hearts of this people faint, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and cover, and be healed.
It's a stumbling block, man. The Lord don't want these niggas. So we teach this thing, and he said, you teach this word, and you're going to lock them into their sleep. They just don't believe it. You got Esau saying something similar.
I was just about to say, tell a few white people. So,
right.
So when they hear it, they ain't going to believe it.
Oh, that's how it go. You know, they think the white. Hey, these niggas, I'm going to tell you something about you niggas, man. I don't care how long you coons been saying y'all Israelites, man. All you niggas that fell out, man, by default, you still believe that the white man is God, man. You niggas still believe the white man is God, man.
So the Lord's at the perfect stumbling block there, man.
The perfect one.
All right, so we said it. Esau said some similar shit. That ain't the truth. I guess we didn't. When the Lord said we sought to be gods too, to know good and evil, that wasn't true because the serpent said it as well. He said it before the Lord said it. The Lord learned from him. You fucking assholes, man. No, man. All right, the Lord wisdom don't sit by idly. If it's pure, it moves through all things. All right,
so even things without life.
Yeah, that's why the chest things. So how much more a man that won't? Hey, the Lord put certain shit on him. Especially at the end, they see certain things, certain visions. That's the time we in. Read your will, man. Read Acts. All right.
Hey, I got you real quick because you just made a comment about the chest, and I said things without life. And this is 1 Corinthians 14:7. And even things without life, giving sound, whether they pipe or heart, except they give a distinction in the sounds, how shall it be known what is piped? All right, because the Spirit of the Lord is in everything. He gave an example. Verse 8, he said, for if a trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? So everything got a purpose and everything got the Spirit of the Lord in it, even without life, man. Hey, but if our gospel be here, man, it is here to them that are lost, man.
Right. You ready?
Get lost, nigga.
Yeah, that lost means perishing. So you're going to die if you don't get it. You're going to fucking die. One of them nukes going to get your ass. You didn't believe it was coming. Then you'll believe it. Goddamn it.
You niggas don't believe it when them soldiers raping you, man.
That's right. World War III is going to happen. Motherfuckers been saying that. And they've been gearing up for more and more each day. Acts 17, brother read earlier, man. And the Lord's Spirit is in all things, man. Move to everything, man. The Lord incorruptible Spirit is in all things. That's the apocrypha, man. Yeah, they said some things that's on point. They still the shaft, man. They ain't got it. All right? They still the truth. Martial law was coming, race wars, World War III, the mark of the beast, the RFID chip, famine, cannibalism, all manner of darkness, man, all types of plagues. All right? And nuclear destruction is coming. This is what's happening, man. Urge. Exactly, man. Hey, so who cares if Esau says it? We're telling you that the Bible says it in great detail, man.
Hey, the Lord told you, hey, man, fuck you niggas, man. Hey, the Lord said it in the book of Ezekiel. If I would have went to a strange nation, they would have listened.
Right.
So what, man? The Lord said if he would have told Esau, Elam, Ishmael, they actually would have fucking believed.
Yeah, and that's the proof.
How about that?
Because they ain't even for them. They still picking up on certain things. You niggas are oblivious, man. All right. You better die your uncircumcised. So with that, you make anything? Nope. Hey,
I quoted the one I was gonna bring out.
Con.
Hey, look it up.
Hey, Con. So with that, all praises, honor, and glory to
Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh Shai.
double honors to the apostles. And salutations, you brothers, those things, sincerity, truth, and charity. Shalom.
Shalom.
Bob.
Bob.
Bob.